What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's the WTF. We live in action. How everybody out there doing? Yeah. I know we missing somebody, right? Hey, my man is a brand new father, got a new baby, working hard to raise his family. So we definitely giving Brother Dimitri a pass today. He did record us a video on the topic, so we'll have him and his version popping up. We were going to show it at the end of this live, but technical difficulties as it was last week. But as you all can see from the sign, from the thumbnail, that we're still on this knowledge versus imagination. And let's just say everybody doesn't agree, and that's okay. It's my opinion. You can take it for what it's worth. I know that I've talked with a lot of young people, and they believe a lot was stated that having an incredible imagination is far better and greater than having a wealth of knowledge. And I mean, I'm in a men's group, and we were at the church yesterday, and we talked about this, where we talked about a lot of people thinking that knowledge is key and knowledge is power. And if you go back to the original sin, what was that tree of? The knowledge of good and evil. So from the beginning, if you are a believer, from the beginning, we were taught not to seek knowledge. We were taught to use our imagination and name this, name that, and we were in bliss. Like it was fire back then, according to my understanding. And this caused the fall. The knowledge is the cause of the fall, you all. So while you all are out there seeking knowledge and saying knowledge is power, knowledge is key, you know doggone well, there's some real smart people out here that are not significant, nor are they successful, but they have degrees. They have knowledge. I don't know where these balloons keep popping up. I got to figure that out. But they have all the knowledge in the world. And it's doing what? It's doing what? You can have knowledge about a million things. How is that serving you all? We're in the information age where you have knowledge at the tip of your hands. Like you have all the knowledge you need right here. And yet what's going on? Everybody's talking about the world is coming to an end. This generation, they're so different. They get raised with iPads in their face and tablets in their face and all of this knowledge. You're getting all of this knowledge, and what is it doing? People will say it's bringing the world down, and job losses, and they don't care about college anymore, and they're not sociable, and just all these different things. So, I had to play the role of Dimitri and make sure I present you all with some stats, because you all have met some people who have these degrees and ain't doing nothing with them. So for those that don't know, my assistant is ChatGPT. If you are not using that, you are lacking. And I wanted everyone to see exactly what ChatGPT had to say about this. And you saw the question that I asked. And shout out to everybody rewatching this. I appreciate you all. I love everyone out there. So keep doing what you're doing and supporting the show. We really love to do this. But I wanted to highlight on a couple of things that it says that most college, they feel that their education isn't being utilized in their current jobs. And half of college graduates are working in positions where their degrees are not required. Think about that. You went to college all this time, and you're either not in your field or you're working in a field where you don't even need a degree. And here's an additional study. There's skepticism about the return on the ROI in higher education. Like, this is 50% of Americans believe that a 4-year degree isn't worth the cost. But we talking about knowledge. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. I want you all to definitely read this. Click on the links again. I'm showing you where I'm getting my data from because I don't want anyone to think I'm just making this up. And hey, you're talking to a guy who has a master's degree. Sound hypocritical, huh? As the old saying goes, if I knew then what I know now, things would definitely be different. So shout out to all my college people out there that are in. I pray for you. I want you all to win. Um, I will say anyone that's considering college, I would say make sure that you know what you're signing up for. Make sure that it's applicable to your career. Don't get one of these Gen Eds and just go to college for the sake of it. Why would you waste that amount of resources, that amount of time, and that amount of money? Now you see how separated money and resources, because there's a lot of things that go into college other than just money and time. You have a lot of resources. You bring in family with you. You bring friends. There's moving expenses, all type of things that go into college. And with my personal assistant being ChatGPT, college can't tell me nothing. And well, you have to have a 4 or 5 year degree to get a job. In some fields, maybe you do, but is that your field? So we have to go back to what the topic is about, the imagination. I need you all to imagine yourself as college graduates. Imagine what your life will be after you graduate and you have debt. If you don't have debt, you're 4 years older, and now you're just getting into a job that you realize doesn't pay as much as you thought it would pay. Let me see who out here in the comments. Hey, D Mac, I see you, bro. Appreciate you, man. One of these days you're gonna jump on with me. But seriously, you all, like, I'm a proponent for setting up, building your own business, building your own brand. I love that. Like, I think that the more of us that do that, the more jobs that we create, and the more we can stimulate a market. So for all my business owners out there, keep doing your thing, because, hey, we need you more than ever. And why is that not working? All right, I hear you, D-Mac. Y'all see it in the chat. Like he said, he gonna get on. So I'm gonna shoot you that link, man. We're gonna have a topic that we're gonna definitely, and we got to get you on the podcast, man. But this is what I want my people to understand, is that you can believe things logically. You can believe the facts, or you can believe in your imagination at the same time. Two things can be true. It's good to know a little something, but it's also not good to be stuck on the little bit that you know. As they say, you bringing up your little pearls and people are looking at you like that's all you got. You trying to impress some folks and that's all you got. Use your imagination. Think outside the box. Get out of the box, take a look at the box, and then start thinking. But we have to look at, why are we not being successful? I'm a good person. I'm smart. I got degrees. And you don't feel successful, nor do you feel significant. Do you feel like time is just going by? It's going by fast, especially this year. I mean, we halfway through it almost. June is around the corner. Have you accomplished your goals in this first half of the year? Or are you still trying to go after those goals? Like, it's so much that goes into this, you all, but back to the root is your imagination. Imagination can create something out of nothing. Or keep chasing that knowledge. Because guess what? Guess what? People who have all these brains, they're never the ones that to create anything. Look up the statistics. The brainiacs don't create, they manage. The visionaries, the ones who use their imagination to see things that don't exist, are the creators. And we need both. So if you're a brainiac and you're a manager of information, you're a manager of people, kudos to you. That's great. But there's also visionaries out there that see things that do not exist right now. So one of the things that I see is my rec center being created in East St. Louis. I see it. I even see the plot of land, but it doesn't exist. Like, well, it's just a thought. It makes me think about that movie Life when Eddie Murphy was talking about the boom boom room. Shout out to Eddie Murphy because that's one of my favorite movies, Life. And what happened during Life? While they were all locked up and on the chain gang, Eddie Murphy was talking about the boom boom room, and it was all in his mind. And the big guy with the gold tooth, he said, "Oh, then that mean it don't exist." He said it exists in my mind, and that's what's critical. Because if you can see it in your head, feel it in your heart, you can hold it in your hands. Stop settling for what life is giving you. This is what life is giving me. Yes, that's the facts. You grew up in a broken home. Yes, you grew up maybe without a dad. Yeah, you grew up in poverty. You got whoopings all the time. Sometimes you went to bed hungry. I get it. These are the facts. You've been locked up. You've been divorced. You've been through all these different things. Facts, 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 facts. You right. And with all that, answer me this question. Can you close your eyes right now? Don't do it if you're driving. But close your eyes sometime today and imagine what you would look like if everything went your way. Have you ever thought about that? If you live where you wanted to live, if you had the vehicle you wanted, if you had the spouse that you wanted, if you had the body that you wanted, how would you feel? Can you do that? I'm here to tell you, you absolutely can. You can see, before you go to the gym, don't you expect yourself to look good after you start going? But you don't see yourself looking good that first week or two, but you keep imagining, man, I can't wait till I get this weight off me. These 20 pounds got to go. I'm going to be looking good. My clothes going to be, you're using your imagination. It's a beautiful thing. Guess what using your imagination does for this big old dome, for your subconscious and your conscious? It creates a target. I don't care if you're the greatest marksman in the world. You might teach people how to shoot, arrows, whatever. You hit a target. I guarantee you this, no matter how good you are, if you don't see the target, you can never hit it. So how do we see the target? With the imagination and lean into that thing. And it doesn't happen just one time. This is a daily thing. Daily, we should be using our imagination to imagine us winning, to imagine our bank accounts out of the red, to imagine our credit scores over 750, to imagine our business prospering, to imagine our children happy. We can do that. And what happens if you keep seeing the same thing every day through your imagination? You're creating a target, and your RAS, your reticular activating system, it kicks in. Look it up, RAS. It kicks in just like when you first bought your car or you got a car gifted to you and you started focusing on that car started showing up everywhere. I know I've said it a lot. You're going to hear it a lot, because I believe this is the simplest analogy I can give you all with the power of your imagination. Is you can imagine something that doesn't exist and keep focusing on it. And through the laws of the universe and through your belief system, that will happen. Now, some people say, well, I can imagine myself a billionaire. You got to be 100,000 there first. Let's take some baby steps. Let's imagine you making double. Don't imagine yourself having as much money as LeBron James, because you not LeBron James. If you were, you probably wouldn't be watching my big old head right here. But imagine yourself making double what you make right now. Or imagine yourself getting the promotion that you desire right now. You imagine all of these things before they happen, and then you wonder how they start happening. Here's a prime example. I imagine my wife. For my single people out there, I imagine my wife before I ever laid eyes on her, and she's absolutely everything I imagined and then some. But I imagined her. Now, you can take this same tool and think doom and gloom. Man, I can imagine this traffic gonna be bad in the morning. I can imagine this weather's gonna be bad on my vacation. I can imagine, and keep on saying it. And then you're like, see, what you gonna say? See, I knew it. I knew it the whole time. No, fool, you brought it into existence with the power of your thoughts. You literally brought it into existence. And what I'm telling you is that if you flip that and imagine all the greatest things, is it all going to happen perfect? No. But as you continue and practice that discipline, consistency, then it's going to get better. What would happen? Here's an easy one. Everybody can do this. Everybody that's watching this, I see it's a few of y'all out there. Shout out to everybody. You need to drop something in the chat so I can we can conversate, as people would say. It's actually converse, but we ain't even going to get into the technical difficulties of that. But say you have a spouse, or say you have children in your house. Say you're not the only person living in your house. When those people come in, if you did this for 7 days, just 7 days, that's it. Greeted them with the joy that you've always imagined yourself being greeted. Like a dog, when they hear you coming home, they go crazy. All at the door, scratching on the door, just can't wait to see you, can't wait to. Now imagine if your whole family did that to you. You want to know how you can get that? By doing it for them. When they come home, you greet them and hey. Every time you see them, you greet them with a big old smile, and it gets contagious. And people start greeting you like, oh man, I like the way this guy greets me. I'm gonna greet him back with that same energy. And then that energy starts to fluster. It starts to increase. And man, it's so much that we can do just by using our imagination. But you can do this at home again. If you have so that's just if you have children in general. But if you have a spouse, and I'm going to do this with you all. So next time we get on the live, I'm going to ask my wife. She's always on here watching this. Shout out to my babe. But she's going to tell you all whether or not I did this. For the next 7 days, today is Thursday. That includes Memorial Day. For the next 7 days, when you wake up to your spouse and when you go to sleep to your spouse, you give them a big old hug and grab them and tell them, I appreciate you so much. Just do it for 7 days. Watch how your relationship will change in 7 days. Now imagine if you did this for a whole month. But hey, only there's some things that come with this. So I'm gonna let y'all know, because when you get to whispering in anybody's ear that you appreciate them and you love them and you hug on them, at first they might look at you kind of strange, like, man, what you doing? You ain't never did this before. Don't matter. You doing this for you, not for them. You're doing this for you, because after you get done doing that for a couple of days, oh, they coming with something that good. You might get you a little extra attention just by simply being kind to the one that you love. These are consistent daily habits that we can do. Because if you're imagining your life being better, and you're imagining your family becoming stronger, and your bond with your spouse becoming that much better, it requires you to do things that you haven't been doing. And I know I'm all man, and my pronouns are he, him, his. I don't do the days, she's, none of that. He, him, his, it's all man. But men, as tough as we are, if we did this and we wanted to improve our relationships, I guarantee you that it will improve. I guarantee you whatever walls are put up between you and your loved ones will slowly start to come down. But it takes you to take action. You got to take massive action. And do your journaling. Write in your journal and say, how was it? Just, you ain't got to talk about your whole day. I know people say write down everything that you did in it. That's great too. I'm saying just for this 7 days. And I want all of you all to come back because we're going to be here next Thursday. For 7 days, write down what happened when you said, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for being a part of my life. And you just hugged up on them. And put it in your journal. I did it this time, and watch what happens with that person. Watch how the relationship between you and your children get better. We always want to sit back and complain and just, they don't want to listen and they did it. Listen. It requires you taking action. It requires you taking action. Nothing is going to get done without you taking action. You are the leader. And guess what? For my ladies out there, if you feel like you're not the leader, that's not true. You just lead differently. Everybody's a leader. We all lead differently. It doesn't matter about sex, race, creed, origin, whatever you want to do. We all are leading something in some kind of way. So as my leaders, which are all of you, take that initiative, take this challenge for the next 7 days. If you imagine yourself being better, having better relationships, then the imagination is great and you can see it. Now take action. Baby steps. Because guess what'll happen? Then they're going to start trying to beat you to the punch because humans are competitive. So I want to give you a kiss first thing in the morning and tell you how much I love you. I don't know about y'all, but as you can tell, I'm smiling big because I like hearing stuff like that. Hey, maybe that's just me, but I like it when my wife whispers in my ear like that, boy, it make the hair stand on the back of my neck. Wait a minute, I ain't really got no hair on the back of my neck, but y'all know what I'm saying. You get them bristles, chicken skin. But I promise you all, like if you want to change your life, little bitty things like this will impact your life greater than any dollar sign, greater than any great opportunity, great trip. Little bitty things is what matters. So again, we starting with the imagination. Because if you can't even imagine yourself doing better, then I don't know what to tell you. If you can't imagine yourself, I say, go to the WTFMA.com and set up a contact session with me. And I guarantee you, when you're done with that session, you'll have some steps to apply to your life that will change your life drastically, dramatically. Like me and my wife is sitting right there talking about, Lord, listen, you all, me and my wife have been through more in the past 5 years than I've been through with anyone in my entire life. And it wasn't all good. Was it all for the best? Yeah. But did some of it hurt? Was some of it painful? Was some of it frustrating? Hell to the yeah. And guess what? We leaned into each other. We have an acronym, NEMAL. That's nothing even matters at all. Anytime we feel frustrated, we say nothing even matters at all. Because nothing even matters at all except me and her. When me and her are together, everything else is great. When we're not, everything else seems like the world is coming to an end. So when you get that spouse, if you don't have it, if all you have is a child out there that you're close with, whoever it is that's part of your team, show them that you appreciate them. D-Mac is an employer. For your employees, D-Mac, get them a $10 Starbucks card. It don't take much. Bring some extra bagels to the job. Little bitty things like that will have people going, they'll work so hard for you. Just for that, you ain't gave them a raise. They already underpaid. Everybody's pretty much underpaid. And all it was a muffin. Some Krispy Kreme donuts that cost you $6, $7. Get you a couple dozens of that and just reward them. Reward your team, your spouses, your pastors, your children. Just give. There's a rule, and this is a universal rule. If you want more, you have to give more. If you want more love, give more love. If you want more wealth, then give wealth. And I know you're like, how are you going to get some money if you're giving it away? Trust me, this is not my law. This is the law of the universe, where if you want something, give something away. Make room for it, because you might be at your capacity. And God could be protecting you from anything extra, because you ain't even doing good with the little bit you got on your plate. We got a merciful one. So he might be holding you back from even more, because if he gave you more, you could kill yourself or someone else, or it could break up your entire home. But if you can get your entire home to appreciate just on a daily basis the fact that they're in your life, the fact that they take the time out of their day to be part of your life, it will come back to you. Yes, D-Mac, it comes back tenfold. See, I didn't even want to put the ice and see D-Mac. No, it ain't even a 1-to-1 ratio. That ain't how God works. That ain't how it works. I'm going to give $1 and I'm going to get $2 back. That ain't how it works. I'm going to give a sandwich. No. Abundance is your birthright, as the great Ash Cash would say. Abundance is your birthright. This is your birthright, to have things in abundance, but we'll take what we have and choke it to death by holding on to it like, I ain't never going to let this go. I'm holding it close to my chest. I don't want anybody to take it, because if I give it away, go through the Bible, go through the Quran. What happened to most of the leaders? They had to let everything go in order to reach their true destiny, their true purpose in life. You got to let it go. A lot of the stuff that you're holding on to is a yoke around your neck, and it's holding you back. And what I'm saying is, give away some of that stuff. Go through your closet. You got a bunch of old clothes you ain't wore in 5 years. Take that down to the nearest Goodwill, the donation, wherever you can donate, and give that to some people who don't have clothes, while you just sitting on shoes and clothes that you, if you be honest, you ain't even gonna wear again, unless you mowing grass or chopping down a tree or something, because you know the clothes are a little roughed up. These same roughed up clothes will be like gems to those that don't have. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That is a fact. So go through your closet, empty some of that stuff out of your closet. That closet you got up here, them skeletons you've been holding on to, give them away. Let it go. Make room for the new that's coming. I mean, the world is waiting to serve you and give you all that your heart desires. But we're holding on to these little morsels, these little tidbits, this little bit of knowledge that you got, this little understanding of what you got. Give that away and watch. It's going to come right back at you. It's going to come right back at you. And you can see it with utilizing your imagination. See, Dimitri going to get mad at me because, boy, I could talk on this topic forever, you all. But I want everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice, watching the replay, listening to this on the podcast, I want everyone to win. There's not a hating bone in my body. I want you to have more money than me, more joy than me, more happiness than me. I don't even want you to be on equal playing ground. I want you to have abundance. And you can have abundance simply by using your imagination and getting that logical crap out your brain. Well, I got to do this in order to get this. I got to do this. No, you do not. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. Yes, you have to take some action, but man, it's pouring on you in buckets. All it takes is you taking a little action. Give some more love. Give some more kindness, give appreciation, be grateful, be happy. Nobody should be waking up frowning. You supposed to, what'd you say, D-Mac? Open the window and I will pour out a blessing too big for you to receive. Whew, that's, hey, my man heavy in the church and he do his thing. So shout out to my guy D-Mac dropping these scriptures. Listen, maybe you don't want that. Maybe you cool with where you at in life. Maybe I got just enough. That's all I need. I got my needs met. I'm, my bills is paid. I'm doing all right and I'm good. Man, you good with that? Like Jada Kiss said, ain't nothing all good when you all broke. Don't tell me everything all good and you broke. What? Because if that's good to you, then you won't be seeing this face much around you. Because I want the go-getters, the ones that want it, the ones that want to serve people, the ones that want to be successful. Even above successful, they want to be significant. Woo, my next one is going to be on the difference between being successful and being significant, because there is a difference. Two things can be true. You can be both. But if you're just one or the other, there's lack. There's lack. So again, I want to recap you all before I get off here. I'm a couple minutes over. Dimitri going to be mad at me, but he'll be all right. So number one, I need you all to use your imagination. Don't forget, don't believe your lying eyes and what the world is saying. Close your eyes. Matter of fact, we don't even want them things open. Don't even believe what you see. Believe what you desire, what you can imagine. And as you lean into your imagination, the picture is going to become clearer. And now you're going to really see it. And now guess what? You just created a target for the universe, because now I see what I want with my imagination. Then you start creating goals. It's steps to this thing you are. I'm just giving you a little bit. You create goals to achieve that target that you just created. And it may be more than just one. It should be more than just one, but I digress. Now it's time to start taking action and watch. You're going to get a bucket poured over your head like my guy D-Mac said. A blessing that you ain't got the pockets for it. When I was in a conference with TD Jakes, he said, everybody want to be a millionaire. You ain't got the pockets to even hold $1 million. They couldn't give you $1 million right now if you asked for it, because you're not designed, you're not prepared, you're not ready to have $1 million in your pocket. Your pockets ain't that big, but we can change that and increase your pockets through your imagination by not just believing what your bank account says. If you want to imagine yourself with a larger bank account, put a number and put a date on it and look at that every day. Every day, I want $5,000 in my account, and I want it in the next 30 days. I want it in the next 90 days. Keep focusing on that. You do that multiple times a day, and a blessing is going to come your way, and you're going to be like, oh my God, this stuff really works. When I was in that prison cell and I said, I'm going to be a 6-figure earner. When I get up out of here, I had a GED and 3-4 felons. Never been to high school. I said, I'm going to be a 6-figure earner, and I'm going to do this within 5 years. It took less than that to hit 6 figures. And I was on parole going through it, but I never lost sight of my goal. This is my goal. And anybody that will come to me and say, oh, you can't do that, I will tell them this phrase: God has his hands on me. I cannot lose. And when you lean into that, and you lean into your vision that you created with your imagination, and you start breaking this thing down, oh my God, your little plan that you're going to create, because it's a little bitty plan, you're going to blow it out the water. It ain't that goal you set, man, you're going to, as my man said, 10X that thing. The 10X, shout out to the 10X crew. You're going to 10X that thing, I promise you that. But you got to remain consistent and dedicated and disciplined to your daily habit of you every day. Utilize your imagination, preferably before you go to sleep and when you first wake up. Just imagine how great it would be. Don't think about what happened yesterday. Don't think about what might happen today. Think about what you want to happen. Think about your vision and imagine that. And when it happens, all I ask is that you put in the chat, I did it, and it works. Because it does. But thank you all out there. I see the numbers coming up. I appreciate everybody that's watching this, that's rewatching this. Share this out with your networks, you all. Share this out with the people that you love. DM it to them. Send it to them in the chat. We on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're all over the place. And what my man say, we don't have because we don't ask God. God said anything your heart desires is, if you stay true to me, all you got to do is believe. They say you can have it on earth as it is in heaven. Man, he telling you, and God sitting back looking like, man, what are y'all doing? You listening to man tell you what successful is? You listen to your degree and what your salary range is. You listen, you believe in that, and over me. Okay, then do your thing. Keep on trying. Try harder. Let's see how far they get you. But those ones leaning into that imagination, the world is your oyster. Thank you again. This is your guy, Mr. WTF. This is What's the Formula. Again, we gave our guy Dimitri a break. He has a video on this topic. I know he's going to drop some gems, but always go out there to WTFMA.com. Check us out. Hit that contact button. If you want to be on the podcast, definitely hit that contact button and put podcasts in there. We'll make sure we get you scheduled. We got another hot one that's about to drop. I'm going to drop some tidbits right after this, so keep your phone on. We got some YouTube videos about to drop that'll highlight our latest podcast guest. It was dope. He a Marine that became a mogul. And it's so fire, you all. You got to hear his story. But again, we want to hear your story. And if all you got to be about is helping people, that's the golden rule for me. If you helping people, I rock with you. If you trying to take, steal, and kill, deuces. I can't rock with that. I don't care if we grew up. I don't care if we blood. I don't care if you know my mom on a first name basis. It do not matter. Either you're with me or against me or you're in my way. Peace, y'all. I forgot to say Dimitri's slogan. Y'all gonna let me get off the hook and now say WTF does not just stand for What's the Formula. It also stands for winning takes focus. Keep focusing, you all, because I want to see you all winning. Peace.